Today we're going to be talking about living in Kuna, Idaho, what you need to know, pros and cons edition. Let's dive into it. So guys, we're talking about Kuna, Idaho, and we haven't talked about this city nearly enough for as nice as it is proximity wise to Boise, which is usually where a lot of people typically start their search when looking to move to the Idaho area. Now, the reason why so many people love the city of Boise is because it has so much to offer, from amenities to outdoor recreation. Now, here's the thing though, a lot of people don't know what Kuna, Idaho has to offer, which is merely one of the suburbs and not as far as a lot of people think. When they're looking at a map, you have Meridian nearby, which is the bordering city of Boise. Then you have Kuna south of Meridian. Now, me personally, when I was deciding where to move, I was actually stuck between Meridian and Kuna just because there was a lot of new construction in Kuna. There's a lot of great opportunities. So for those of you guys that don't know, yes, I am a licensed real estate agent here in the local area for Kuna, Boise, and all the cities that are surrounding. If you would like more information, all you have to do is call, text, or email me. I'd love to help you guys with your move. That's what I'm here for. But when we were thinking about moving here, we were looking at proximity, right? Proximity to Boise, proximity to shopping and things of that nature. Because me personally, I'm a city person. I like to be around people. I like to actually sit down and have a good time with people. I like to work and also be close to things that I can enjoy while working, like coffee shops or restaurants or activities when I need a break, right? Like maybe I want to go and take a quick hike. Maybe I want to go take a quick walk. Something I personally love to do is is float the Boise River. Could you imagine hiking the river? You kind of can. They got the trail on the side. But I really wanted to be somewhere that mattered. We ended up going with Meridian, but I'll still tell you guys, Kuna is probably one of the most exciting cities to look forward to because they have so much growth coming to it. And Meridian is going to run out of space. Boise pretty much has run out of space. So really all they can do is build up, whereas Kuna just doesn't have as much tapped land or development, I should say. They just haven't really developed it as much just yet, which is going to be one of the pros, is that there's a ton of development coming in the future in Kuna, Idaho, and it's still close to the airport. It's still close to so much. It's still close to the village. Now, the village is going to be a really nice outdoor shopping mall in Meridian, Idaho, which was one of the reasons I actually ended up moving to Meridian, because I love that area so much. My gym is there. My coffee shop I like to sit at is there. All the fun stuff. But for those of you that are looking for an area that is really does have like a small town feel still, with some things that are coming out that are super exciting. For example, even Facebook is moving to Kuna, Idaho right now. They just built out the Meta warehouse. They're still building it out, I should say. But that's going to be super exciting for a lot of folks. And it's just going to continue being one of the places where people just continue to move, because as it does get better and better, you're still going to have opportunity to not just own a really nice home or not be away from the city, but traffic and things of that nature isn't as relevant here as it is just yet as it is in Boise Meridian. I'm putting that just yet because in the future it may get to the point where traffic does get a little more congested. But with that being said, that is going to be another one of the pros, is that currently Kuna doesn't have a huge population. So Kuna actually has roughly a tenth of the population that Boise does. Boise is, by the way, the #1 populated city in the entire state of Idaho, with Meridian coming in at #2. Boise currently has around 235,000 people living in it, whereas Kuna currently has 29,000 people. So there's a huge gap there as far as population. And obviously, with that being said, you're going to be able to expect a lot less traffic. You're probably going to see a lot more familiar faces. It's going to have a better, more small community feel. So that's going to be another pro. It's just very safe and very convenient, and you don't have that feel of a city just yet. But you do have the feeling that it is like an up and coming area. It is something that a lot of people are kind of interested in, just because location wise, it's in a great spot. As far as job wise and things of that nature, people still are willing to travel out from Kuna to Boise, Meridian, wherever their job is. Now, speaking of job opportunities with it, it is becoming a booming market in the Boise and surrounding areas as a whole. And that's more so just because of the fact that everywhere is growing out here. I mean, naturally, new construction wise, but back here behind me, you have new homes that are being constructed as we speak. Now, here's one thing that I will say. Kuna is going to be a hub for a lot of new construction homes right now. Tons of great promotions are happening, and I'm talking about $20,000, $30,000 towards your closing costs, towards being able to buy down interest rates, towards upgrades in the home, building your own homes. Like, you have so much possibilities as far as being able to find the home you want the way you want it, or build it the way you want it if you can't find it that is currently on the market. We are seeing that inventory is a little higher on the real estate side of things, which is another pro for those of you guys that are looking for real estate out here in the Kuna or just surrounding areas of Boise. If Kuna isn't the area for you, completely fine. But you do have just tons of opportunity to try to find areas that align with what you're looking for. And I will say Kuna does have some really great places. For example, today we are at Discovery Park, and you can kind of see you have tennis courts back there, pickleball courts, you have playgrounds, you have tons of fields for those of you guys that like to go grab a Frisbee or football or whatever and just go throw it around, maybe hold a flag football game for Thanksgiving. I don't know, we're kind of getting into that season where people do that, have their own little turkey bowls. Let me know if you're doing a turkey bowl, I'd love to be there. And then you also have some softball fields, but in addition to that, let me not forget, on this side you have a ton of basketball courts. So it's just really cool. Mind you, not a lot of people are here right now because it just was raining. We were sitting in the car waiting for it to cool down a little bit so I could get out and record this video for you guys. But tons of opportunity for kiddos, tons of great areas for families, tons of great areas for just hiking or just enjoying outdoor stuff like this, for example. So this is definitely hands down the biggest park. Now, although it doesn't have a ton locally as far as proximity wise to outdoor recreation, so you're not just going to be able to go out your back door and find hiking trails and all that good stuff. You may drive 30 minutes to, one in Boise or Eagle State Park or wherever you go to make sure you get your dose of vitamin D and outdoor play and all that fun stuff, which is completely normal out here. There is a con of not having all those local amenities here. Now, here's what the pro is with that being said, is you do have all the necessities, right? You're going to have your grocery stores, you're going to have your gas stations and all the things that you need in the local area. You just aren't going to have that big feeling of like being fulfilled as far as maybe entertainment wise. So that's why most people do end up branching out on the weekends or during the week if they want to go out for dinner or date night or whatever the case may be. But they do quite a bit of events in the Kuna area as well, or at least you are also in close proximity to some of the events they do. For example, a lot of people for 4th of July, they love being here. New Year's Eve, most people go downtown to watch the potato drop in Boise, so that'll be probably one of those things. But you do have some hit or miss things that do happen in Kuna. It just really depends on what you're interested in. And what I tell people, this is just a pro tip. If you're looking for events to attend or to join and participate in, I always recommend go look on Facebook. I'm a huge Facebook guy, by the way. And if you are a Facebook guy, then you definitely want, or if you're a Facebook guy, girl, whatever it is that you are, check out the video descriptions below and you are going to see some really good resources for you guys. We have relocation guides, we have Facebook groups that you can join. But as far as Facebook goes, what I would do is join those Facebook events or just try to keep an eye on them, and you'll see all the different things that are happening in the local area. One of those days we were just looking randomly and we found out there's a potato day and we ended up there. And then we also found out about, some of the Spirit of Balloons activities and just some of the bigger things that they do. There's even a barbecue day that's coming up here soon that we're gonna go check that out. But just tons of fun things are always popping up. So that's a great resource for you guys that are getting ready to move here and just kind of want to be involved as far as what's going on here or in the local area. All right, now let's hit on the cons. I feel like I'm throwing a lot of pros at you guys. I just want to make sure I hit on both sides of the coin. I don't want to just give you all the positives, but truthfully guys, like I said, the one thing that really just kept us from moving here was because proximity. So the biggest con here is going to be that you aren't necessarily in the city, you are proximity wise a little bit away from everything. But that's kind of based off of your opinion. It could be also a positive. Another con is going to be that you do have 4 seasons weather here. Now I know this applies to all the surrounding cities as far as Boise and Idaho and all that fun stuff, but you do have 4-season weather. Now this is a big deal for a lot of people because for those of you that maybe have never experienced snow or the winter season, it may be a little rougher for you, right? You may not be used to seeing snow. You may not be used to driving in the snow. You may not know that you're not supposed to take off, and just because you have a truck, you shouldn't drive like it's a normal sunny day when there's snow and ice on the ground. So pro tip there, please don't be that person. I would hate to see you guys on the end of the road or on the side of the road because you didn't know how to drive in the snow, but those are real genuine concerns for a lot of people. Also, you could possibly, not be someone that is wanting to go outside because it's too cold outside. So just some things to take into consideration. But then on the flip side, you do still have winter and you can enjoy the snow in Bogus Basin, go snowboard or ski. You can also go enjoy some of the other winter activities that there is to offer. And they do really cool things around Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that fun stuff. So that's also a really big pro. Sorry, I know I'm talking about cons right now, but I just want to make sure I don't leave anything out for you guys. And if you would like more information, please reach out once again. That's literally what I'm here for. So with that being said, another con that we're going to hit on is that although there's not a ton of traffic right now or anything of that nature, that is going to be something that starts to pop up. Now, they didn't necessarily build this area for the traffic that may come in the future. So you do have a lot of two-way roads, which is going to be just single roads, one way each way, and they're a little tight, right? During traffic or maybe peak hours, you may see some people trying to save some time, and then they end up on those roads, and because it's a stop sign at every single intersection, every half mile, whatever the case may be, that traffic may naturally start to get worse until they start improving the road and start expanding them and start allowing you guys to be able to have more space or the ability to get around town a little easier. So that's going to be another con, is that just upcoming growth and development as far as lack of potential roadway and traffic jams and what could come with that. Now another con, and this may not necessarily apply to you guys, once again, if you're more into like the smaller rural town kind of living, this isn't necessarily rural, I don't want to say that, but it's just a suburb living style, where it's just still kind of like it's almost like a hybrid, right? Hybrid city, hybrid farmland, more leaning towards the farmland side of things, until they start developing more. Then you're not going to mind this too much, but you don't have a huge downtown lifestyle here. You're not going to have a ton of clubs or bars or anything of that nature. You have kind of like just your select few that you may like, that you could literally count on your hand, and that's pretty much it. So for some people that could be a con, or for some people that may also be just a pro. So really guys, what I'm trying to get at here is that dependent on your lifestyle, dependent on what you like to do, dependent on what you want to go out of your way to do, or location and things of that nature, this may just be a great area for you. And if it's not, that's completely okay as well. But really do your research, really reach out if you guys have specific questions. Maybe you're thinking about even schooling wise, right? School wise, Kuna isn't going to rank as high as some of the schools in Boise or some of the surrounding areas, but you still have really good school districts. You're not going to have a lot of school districts or anything of that nature to choose from, which could be also a con for some people, but you do have a pretty great area, a pretty safe area, mind you, at that. And you can rest at ease knowing that your kids are going to be in a good area and grow up in a great place. So with all that being said, that's going to be where we end the video. But before I let you guys go, do me a huge favor. If you didn't already, press that subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. And then at the top of the screen right here, you're going to see a bell. Now, once you press that bell, it'll notify you when we make more amazing videos like this. We're going to make more videos on Kuna just for you guys that have been asking, because we truly haven't talked about it nearly enough. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys on the next one.